There were protests on Sunday in several Brazilian states against the government of President Michel Temer, following allegations he took bribes from a government contractor, prompting a Supreme Court investigation. The rallies were called by trade unions and left-wing activist groups who want an end to Temer's government, new elections and a halt to pension and labor law reforms.
This is the shame for our country. Brazil's bleeding with corruption, and now it's clear it's reached the highest office of the country.
Despite the political turmoil in Brazil, turnout for Sunday's protests was lower than for previous rallies, attracting from a few hundred to a few thousand people each.
The rain was a problem for the organizers of the protest here in São Paulo, but people who came admit there are other reasons behind the low turnout.
We from left-wing groups are often calling for protests, but I think that the general population is still not participating as much. I think many people are under the impression that protesting is useless because all politicians are the same.
We are now actually beginning a movement that will remove Temer from power. We need to gather more strength, and then we'll have acts as big as the ones we had in defense of ousted President Dilma Rousseff.
The relatively small size of the demonstrations may serve as some encouragement for President Temer, but it does not mean the political crisis is over. While his government no longer seems on the verge of collapse, as some feared last week, the president still faces a tough struggle to retain his support base in parliament and reach the end of his term. Paulo Cabral, CGTN, São Paulo.